Baruch Avoecha me'atav v'ad olam. Lift up mine eyes unto the mountains, for the source of my help. My help cometh from the Lord, maker of heaven and earth. God will not let your foot give way. The protector will not slumber. See, the protector of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. The Eternal is your guardian. He will not let the sun smite you by day, nor the moon by night. God will watch you. God will watch your soul. You're coming and you're going from this time forth and forever. And let us say, Amen. Today's Rachel Bas Avram and Devorah. Her father Avram Karen was born in Odessa and he fled the pogroms. Her mother Devorah Pollock, also from that area. Her father and mother escaped to England and they were wed. She was one of Kinahara 10 children, one of 10 children. Her siblings, Anne, Betty, Meyer, Irene, Francis, Ben, Maurice, Ethel, and Rachel Rachel, and Harold. Her father Avram worked very, very hard to support the family. He sold coats, and they lived in Borough Park, Brooklyn, New York. Rachel Rachel was born on October 13th, 1918, the 7th day of the month of Cheshvan, 5679. She attended Erasmus High School, where she majored in Spanish and German. She worked in the well-known department store at that time, Banwood Teller. She helped support her mother, as her father was not always able to support the family, and he passed away also younger. Her life took a change when she crossed paths with Jerome C. Gutentag, and the C stands for Chaim, life. He was a corporal, and he met her at a dance. She was standing alone waiting for someone for a number of hours. And he came over to her and said, what are you doing? She said, well, maybe. He said, you'll wait here all night. Why don't we dance? And that was something they were really good at, dancing. They really were gifted that way. Well, it didn't take long for him to propose to her. And she said, but I don't really know you too well. He said, well, I'll give you a reference. My sister Eleanor Nagelbush. You can ask her about me. And 3 weeks later, they were married in the Cleveland Jewish Center. Rabbi Ganuth performed the wedding service. Then Jerome went off to Bombay for 4 years. Meanwhile, Rose was expecting, and she delivered her child at then Israel Zion, today Maimonides Medical Center, very well known in Brooklyn, New York. In fact, I lived in Borough Park when I was a child, so I passed Maimonides all the time. Her beloved daughter Marcia was born in 1944, and at that time Rose brought Marcia and to live with Nanny Gutentag, her mom. Chaim Jerome returned in 1945. Alan Avram David was born in 1948, right here in Cleveland at St. Luke's Hospital. And Rose and Jerome worked very, very hard to support their family. They did many, many different endeavors. Especially, they would even go to the Catskills and work dancing. That's something. Jerome worked hard to sell World Book encyclopedias. Many of us remember, right, the World Book encyclopedias, the salesmen coming to our home. A new encyclopedia every month, was it, that you would purchase? And that's what Jerome did. He worked very, very hard for many, many years He worked for World Book in Chicago, Boston, and Columbus. And he departed, he was nifter in 2003. And Rose was alone at that time. She was so close to Chaim, to Jerome. She was so bound up with him. She used to run his office in Reynoldsburg, and she really did not want to leave the home where they lived together. It took Marcia a lot of planning and scheming. How is she going to get her mom to leave the home? Because they were two lovebirds, they really were. She and Chaim were inseparable at all times. And she just wanted to stay in that house where they had lived. In 2011, she moved here to be with Marcia. And Marcia says she's inherited all the family sets of china for Yontif, Pesach chinas, from this relative, from that relative. She has 12 different sets of china from family gatherings. Rose was a devoted mother, Marcia a devoted daughter, a beloved child, really, who fought and advocated so strongly. And we at King David Center, we were fortunate to be able to get to know Marcia, not just through her advocating for her mom, but for other loved ones. She is not shy when it comes to advocating for people's well-being. And we know, well, in today's medical world, I see friends and relatives and family here. In today's medical world, we all need advocates. Especially today, there's such a shortage of workers. And so when I visit someone, I see a loved one is there with them, makes all the difference in the world. It really does. And Marcia, I'm sure, will continue to advocate for other people and look after them. Because it's part and parcel of who she is, who she inherited from her dad and mom, her father Chaim. Chaim is life, and that's what Marcia's doing. She's advocating for life, for people, that we should be blessed with life. At this time, I'm going to recite the Eshes Chayil prayer. Eshes Chayil nihimtza, v'rachok mitninim mechra, otak bolei vayado, v'shalom lo yechzor, v'molasu tov v'lo ra, kol yemei chayeho, osho tzemer ufishtim, batas b'chefetz hapeho. Oisa koriyal sehoche, himecha tavi lachro, atokom biyod lailo, vatitin teret leveisa v'chok l'naroseha, Samamasa devatikochehu, mipricha pehonot akorem, chavro bioiz mosneho, vatameis roseho, toamo kito sachro, lo yichbe balaylo nedo yodeho shilcho vakishor, v'chapeho taplufo olech, Apopos leoni, biyadeho shilcho lohem, yelasid aleveis amishalem, kicho beis alabushonim, marvadim asasalaho, sheish yargam alebubusho, noida basharim bailo, V'shivtoyim ziknei yoretz adin nasusavatim kol, v'chador nosna laknani, oiz v'hodor levusho, v'tischak liyohim acharoim, piyo poscha v'chachmo, v'soiras chesed, al lishoynot, zefiya halichois peso, V'lechem atzlus lo sochel, komu boneh v'yashruho, v'aylo, v'yehalelo, rabos panos asechoyil, v'yarolis, al kula ono, שקר החן, והבל היופי, איש הירס אדוני, היא שסלותנו לו, מפרי הדבר, ויהבנו לו, אשר מעשהו. Grace is false and beauty is vain. A woman in awe of God, she should be praised. Give her the fruits of her own hand, and let her deeds praise her in gathering places. And Marcia is proud to tell over how devoted her mother was to Yiddishkeit, how she gave her family a love for Yiddishkeit, how she triumphed over challenges to keep kosher at times when keeping kosher was all but impossible. They were sent out, and the military sent them out, to places. There was no, grove. There was no hungers in the grove when the military sent Jerome out. Marcia, where was it we said he went to that they had to be stationed at? Mom, remember the name of the military camp she had to be in?
Oh, my mother?
Yes.
She went to several of them.
Several of them.
One was in Virginia.
Virginia, right? And so these are far-flung places. And yet, she would not bend and give in on her commitments to her Yiddishkeit. And she came back to Cleveland, right? To be in a Yiddish environment. And that was so important to her. At this time, we would ask if we could rise to the prayer. Kevin Moira. God full of compassion, who dwells on high, grant proper rest on the sheltering wings of your presence, in the lofty levels of the holy and pure, who shine as the brightness of the heavens, to the soul of Rachel Rochel, Rose Ruth, the daughter of Abraham, and Devorah, who has gone to her world, and for whose memory we pray. May her rest be in paradise. May the Master of Compassion bring her under the cover of God's wings, and bind her soul in the bond of life. May the Lord be her heritage, and may she rest on her resting place in peace. And let us respond, Amen. You may be seated. I thought this was very special that the family chose instead of, having to have the service outside at the graveside, to use this chapel. I believe Larry worked hard to get this chapel way back when added. Right, Kirk, this was an addition to Mount Olive, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Like Kirk says, when the winter is inclement, and you never know, and instead of everybody being outside, I commend you. It's a very, very, very honorable what you did for Mom to have you gathering here. And we're going to proceed together to the Kura in a moment. I want to ask forgiveness from Ruth, Rachel. If I wronged you in any way, I ask Mechila, I ask forgiveness for myself. Surely we didn't honor you according to your loftiness. A matriarch, really, a matriarch. Imagine, someone 106 years old. What a blessing, what a blessing. And you helped her along to have that Arichas Yomim Mash. You helped her along to have that Arichas Yomim. And it's special for all of us to have known her and have been around her. So ask forgiveness. If I wronged you in any way, if any of us at King David wronged you, please forgive us. Ask forgiveness for myself, for your family, for your community. You should be a Melitz Yosher, you should be an advocate. And at this time, we'll continue to the resting place.
Gentlemen, could have the gentlemen and family members that come act as pallbearers, please? Have you come alongside the cactus, please? Go over here. One more gentleman on that side. Three. I'm going to ask at this time if everyone will kindly rise and remain in place, please.
One second, wait for Rabbi Matt. We'll do the line again.
Gentlemen, we'll lift together and ask the family to follow behind, please. Very important. Ask everyone to step to their cars, and we're going to just follow along. We'll go down to the gravesite and have the committal service, everybody.
I guess so.
So